Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at standard 7.sp.a.1. Understand that statistics can be used to gain information about a population by examining a sample of the population. Generalizations about a population from a sample are valid only if the sample is representative of that population. Our vocabulary terms: population is the entire group of people or objects being studied. For example, the entire school is an example of a population. A sample is a part of the population being surveyed. So within that school, a class would be an example of a sample. A reasonable sample is selected at random, representative of the population, and large enough to provide accurate data. The results of a reasonable sample are proportional to the results of the population, so reasonable samples can be used to make predictions about that population. So here, the blue individuals are an example of a population, and the yellow would be representative of a sample group. So if you notice, each of these are chosen at random, right? It's not just, okay, all of the individuals in the first row or all of them in the fourth row. We're choosing them at random to ensure that we have an accurate representation of the population. You want to know how many students in the 6th grade are going to the basketball game. You survey the first 50 6th grade students who walk into the cafeteria at lunch. Okay, so you want to know how many students in the 6th grade are going to the basketball game. So here our population would be all the students in the 6th grade. And the sample that we're going to use would be the first 50 6th graders who walks into the cafeteria. Okay, this sample size is chosen at random. You don't know who's going to be walking into the cafeteria and when they're going to be walking in. So choosing those first 50 individuals would ensure that your sample is indeed randomized. An agency wants to know the opinion of Florida residents on the construction of a new road. The agency surveyed 800 residents. Identify the population and the sample. So the agency wants to know the opinion of Florida residents, right? So the population would be all Florida residents. And the agency is going to survey 800 of those residents. So our sample would be the 800 residents who are surveyed. Okay. A factory supervisor selects 40 PS4 at random of those that were produced that week at the factory to test their durability. Which of the following best describes the population in the sample? So in this example, I would probably identify my population, my sample first, and then I would look for the answer choice that best represents my answer. So here we see that the factory selects 40 at random. So that's going to be my sample. And they are selecting out of what was produced that week. So that would be my population. Okay, so the PS4s that were produced that week at the factory would be my population, and the 40 that were selected is my sample. So let's go ahead and read our answer choices. The population is all the PS4s ever produced at the factory, right? So if we're thinking of all of them, that's a really large sample size. I mean, really large population size. So to only select 40, that would be too small of a sample size. That's not it. The population is the PS4 produced at the factory that week, and the sample is the 40 PS4 selected, so that matched what we came up with. Or C, the population is all the PS4 produced in the world, and the sample is all the PS4 produced at that one factory. So similar to choice A, the sample is not proportional to the population. So it's not C. B is the answer that best suits this scenario. So now let's explore a reasonable or the best sample size. You want to estimate the number of students in a high school who ride the school bus. Which sample is best? Is it A, 4 students in the hallway, B, all the students in the marching band, C, 50 students seniors at random, or 100 students at random during lunch? So choice A is too small of a sample, right? Because if we're thinking of all the students who ride the school bus, 4 of them in the hallway, that's not sufficient. That's too small. All students in the marching band, so that's now limiting. What about all the other students, the ones who run track or the ones who play basketball? That's too limiting. 50 seniors at random. What about the juniors? What about the sophomores? What about the freshmen? So again, that's limited. 100 students at random during lunch. So if everyone is at lunch at the same time, then choosing 100 students at random would give you a mix of all 4 grades to see, right, who's riding the school bus. So choice D would be the best option. You want to survey the number of people who enjoy Ciara's music in your community. Which sample is best? Okay, so is it A, 30 of your neighbors, B, 100 people at a Ciara concert, C, 20 of your friends at school, or D, all of your teachers? So since you're thinking about the people in your community, right? 30 of your neighbors, okay, that makes sense. 100 people at a Ciara concert. Well, if they're at the concert, they probably do like her music, so that would not be a good selection to sample. 20 of your friends at school. Well, if your friends lived in your community, maybe, but they live in other communities as well, so that's not good. All of your teachers are not a part of your community. Maybe 1 or 2 of them live there, but others live in other areas. So 30 of your neighbors would be the best option. Thank you for watching and have a great day.